So now, with that said, the message has been sent. So they have so far convicted Cosby, Weinstein, and the R. Kelly trial is up, and it's not up, but it's on the way. And then you have the Cuba Gooding Jr. trial, and then you also have the what's the Ron DMC guy's name? I forget his name. I can't think of it right now. But you got the Ron DMC guy, Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons trial. It's not going to be a trial because, from what I understand, the allegations are so old that he can't be brought on trial. But the documentary is coming out, and then you have the public humiliation that's coming, right? So, the message has been sent. It's clear. And I think the solution is to actually have a contract. I'm not going to talk about that again because I already talked about it in the first video. But I do think it's worth mentioning the second time. The Me Too movement is in full effect. We are in a new world or a new age. Call it whatever you want to call it. I'm at a loss for words now, so I can't really think of what to call this thing. But we're here. We're here, and it is what it is. So with Wienstein, he looks pretty old, and I don't know what his age is. Maybe I could Google it, but I don't know what his age is. So pretty much from looking at him, and I don't know if his health is really an issue, but if it is, he's pretty much probably looking to die in prison, right? So let's assume that he's 65, and then he has an additional 23 years. So now you're looking at, what is that, 88 years, right? So that's a very long time, and if he has poor health, he's potentially going to die in prison. And basically, the only thing he really has to look forward to now is an appeal. That's the only thing he has to look forward to is an appeal, just like Cosby. And I forget what's going on with Cosby's appeal. I think Cosby appealed, but he missed the deadline, so they rejected his appeal. Then he went to Supreme Court, and I forgot what happened at Supreme Court. I don't know if they're going to take the case, but if Supreme Court doesn't take the case, Cosby basically has to either do something to get his probation, because I think he has 3 to 10, so he has to do something to get that 3 years, probably show remorse for his alleged behavior, or he has to just do the 10 years. But with Weinstein's case, I don't know that he has a probation term. Maybe I'll look that up later. So the appeal is going to be one of his options, but probably his best option. And I think the reason he hit his head in the hospital, the reason that you're seeing all these health issues pop up, is because I believe that he's trying to get into some type of situation where he's in some type of special care ward. Maybe it's a prison, but it's like a prison for the elderly and the weak, and then he can just basically live out the rest of his life, without having to deal with trying to survive in prison. Because I don't really know anything about prison, but from what I've seen on these prison shows, surviving is really tough. I don't know if any of that stuff is true. Leave your questions and comments below, especially being a predator, being convicted as a sexual predator. I could imagine it's pretty true. You let me know. If anyone that's listening to this have been to prison and they have been locked up on some serious charges, let me know what the seriousness, or let me know what it's like to be in prison on some very serious charges. We want to know. Everybody want to know. It's good to hear the prison stories once in a while. But it's over for Weinstein, and we are in a new age. We're in a new age. So now that they've got Cosby, they got Weinstein, and they got Larry Nassar a long time ago. But me personally, I think Larry Nassar was a unique case because basically in my opinion, I thought Larry Nassar was guilty. and he basically copped out, and he also had child porn on his computers. Bill Cosby, not so much. I'm not really feeling a Bill Cosby guilty verdict. Um, but that's just me. Um, and again, I'm not here to bash women, and I'm not here to basically bash victims. And I think, some victims should be believed, but I think we should always listen to the allegations from an objective perspective. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think this commentary, or what I really wanted to say, is that if R. Kelly gets convicted, I think, and I talk about this in another video, and I'm not trying to be negative here. I know I have a lot of R. Kelly fans that come to my page, but you got to take the good with the bad. And I think that if R. Kelly gets convicted, they are going to try to give him some astronomical numbers. He's not going to get 23 years like Wienstein got. He's not going to get 30 years or even 40 years. He is looking at some astronomical numbers, and I have a video series that breaks down the amount of time he could potentially get. If you haven't seen that, go watch it now. It has a lot of really good information in there. It's basically called How Much Time You Think R. Kelly Will Get If He Loses, or something of that nature. And again, these videos are not to be negative. This is a law channel. We talk about issues of law, and I'm sorry if I offend any of the R. Kelly fans that come to this channel, but I'm telling you like it is, right? I'm telling you what R. Kelly's lawyers are telling him, right? Because it's their duty to basically tell R. Kelly. I'm telling you because I'm just trying to be honest with you. I'm trying to tell you what God loves. I'm trying to tell you the truth, right? I don't have to tell you the truth, but my channel is essentially about the truth, right? I'm talking about law, and I'm talking about issues, and I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I do lie or whatever, but I'm telling you like it is. I mean, he is looking at some crazy time if he's convicted, period. So with that said, it's not really just about R. Kelly. I can tell you right off the bat that Cuban Gooding Jr., mark my words, Cuban Gooding Jr. is going to be found guilty. And the reason I say this is because I saw the second video, not the first video. There's multiple accusers. The first video was kind of a joke because I think the lady comes into the bar and basically she has a conversation with Cuban and his girlfriend, and there's some touching going on there, but we can't really tell what's going on. But there's a second video out there, and you can Google it. I think TMZ has it, so I can't post it on my page. But there's a second video out there where he's in a restaurant and he pokes a lady with his finger, and then she has an adverse reaction to it, and he basically gets upset with her because she has an adverse reaction to it, and he pokes her again, right? So Cuban Gooding Jr., mark my words, he is going to be found guilty. That's just me. And the reason I came to this conclusion is because of the convictions that we've already had. They're convicting these people with little to no evidence, and they have a video of Cuban Gooding Jr. Unless he knows that woman, right? A picture tells 1,000 words, but you really don't know what's behind the action until you hear both of the parties speak. It could be maybe that was his girlfriend, or they had a relationship and they had just broke up and he was just teasing her or something like that. I don't know, right? But he's going to have a pretty good story for that one. Like I said, if you haven't seen that video, Google it. TMZ basically owns it. And again, you see Cuban walking by, he pokes a lady or he lightly touches her. She has an adverse reaction, and he's like, who do you think you are? And then he touches her again, and then it escalates, and it looks like people are going to converge on the situation to actually break up the altercation, and then from there he leaves, right? So that video is going to crush him, guaranteed. So yeah, so you got Cuban, R. Kelly. I believe R. Kelly has a pretty good chance of beating the RICO charges. I talk about it on the video series on my channel, and I believe he has a pretty good chance of beating the STD charges, and I believe he has a pretty good chance of beating several of the other charges. And if you haven't seen those videos, go to my channel and just do a search for R. Kelly, and I talk about how he could possibly win the state case and how he could possibly beat the Illinois federal case, and then with the RICO charges thrown out, he could possibly win that. So in my opinion, R. Kelly has a decent chances of winning. Call me delusional. Leave your questions and comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think R. Kelly has a chance of winning? And leave the reason why. And then with Cuban, I think it's pretty much a done deal. Russell Simmons, from what I understand, his case is pretty much beyond the statute of limitations. So I don't think he's going to be convicted, but I think what they're doing is that they're releasing this video series, and what they're hoping is that somebody else is going to come out to say that Russell Simmons recently violated them, right? So if they get a person that comes out and said Russell Simmons recently violated them, then what they'll do is they'll bring all, you know the playbook. You've seen the playbook already. You know the game, right? They're trying to get a recent accuser to come out, maybe 5 to 6 years, maybe 10. I don't know what the statute of limitations is, and it depends on the actual allegation, right? That person comes out, and then what they'll do is they'll bring all these people from his past, the accusers from like 30 years ago, and then they'll use testimony of those people in addition to the testimony of the person that just come out, and bam, they'll convict them, right? So that's what they're hoping will happen in Russell Simmons' case. And then Damon Dash has a civil suit coming out, and he's smart. He's a really smart guy. More than likely, Damon Dash is probably just going to settle that if he's smart. And you guys, you get on me about paying people off, but call me a simp, call me a goofy, call me whatever you want to do. But basically, I don't want that on my resume. So if I was Damon Dash, I would just pay and just disappear. That would be my technique. So at any rate, that's it for this video. It looks like it's probably going to be 3 videos now, because now my commentary has run about 18 minutes. So there's going to be 3 videos. That's it for this one. Leave your questions, comments below. Let me know if you think we are in a new day and time, a new age, a new way of doing things. Do you think we need a contract in order to have sex now? Let me know. I want to know what you think. I want to hear from you. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and take care.